Silly target. That's not how women's bodies work. Once again, supermarkets just laying out unrealistic body standards for women. When will we ever learn? This video brought to you by my YouTube members and patrons. Thank you guys. How's it going, everybody, and welcome back to another subreddit video. Today we are going to be taking a look at r/badwomensanatomy, a subreddit dedicated to women's anatomy and just the people that they get it wrong. They get it so wrong. Oh, so wrong. This subreddit, as you'll see, is a pretty good example as to why sex education really needs to be taught more. Like, really needs to be taught more. Very quickly before we begin, I just wanted to mention, YouTube members and patrons, you guys get an extra video every single week for as low as £1 a month. That equates to about 25p per video. So if that is something that interests you, please do consider joining, as it really helps support the channel. Other than that, let's get straight into the subreddit, shall we? No more mammogram. No more pap smear. No more colonoscopy. Do your research. You can have cancer, be our guest, but I ain't risking it. I really love when people say, do your research, do your own research, you know, because it always means I have no evidence. I have nothing to back up what I'm saying. I can't find anything to give us proof or evidence for what I'm saying. So I'm gonna put the responsibility on you to prove what it is I'm saying. Ignore that I'm the person saying some crazy outlandish claims. It's your responsibility to verify what I'm saying, and not my responsibility to verify what I'm saying. Like, no, you can't just say, no, don't do any of these things. I'm not giving you any context or any reason why. Do your research. You go, don't do these things. This is why. These are the studies that I'm referencing, right? Whenever I talk about things like this on my channel, I will reference studies and I will physically show the studies on screen for you to look at. I don't just go, nah, do your own research. I'm not giving you any sources for anything I say. Realistic AI girlfriend. Yes, truly realistic here. So realistic that the incredibly malformed torso, the creepy, uncanny valley, no, something's not quite right about that face, you know? There's just such a realistic, that's what I look for in my girlfriend, you know? I look for, in my girlfriend, she has to have a bottom half to her body that has a completely different perspective to the rest of her body, you know? If that leg doesn't look like it's coming directly at me, no matter what angle I look at her in, I don't want to date her, you know? Her butt has to look like it's a separate entity to her body that just happens to be put in the same trousers, you know? If her butt doesn't look like it's detachable at any given moment, I don't want any of it. I don't want any of it. All of this aside from, you know, any commentary about AI girlfriends, which I just don't want to get into in this video. I've talked about it in the past. It's a sad, depressing thing that just indicates a horrible mental illness that is growing in society, which is replacing human contact. It's depressing, it's sad, and it's unhealthy. It's not the size of the ship, but the motion of the ocean. Don't envy us big dick members too much, because it's both a great blessing and a curse. For many women, mine is too much. Many had to stop midway and call it quits because I'd be in their stomach and you'd see it pushing their stomach out with every thrust. They always said it's painful, so I'd stop and end up with the bluest balls ever. The uterus doesn't go above the pubic bone, big guy. Not unless you're pregnant. And your dick can't enter the uterus unless someone is actively giving birth. But then again, a baby's head would be blocking the entrance. So please, stop watching hentai. It's not meant to be sex ed. Yeah, also, like, they're not entirely wrong in that, you know, penises that are too big can be uncomfortable, right? They can be painful for women. That's a very real thing that can happen. But they had to describe that in a way that just isn't realistic at all. It's like, you almost had the humble brag of, oh yeah, I'm just too big for women, but then followed it up with just inaccurate biology and proof that none of this is actually true and he just gets this information from videos he's watched on the internet, right? Like, so close, dude. So close. You could have had a believable story, but you don't. Whenever I go to the restroom and can't piss immediately, I get so mad because all I can think about is that weird sexist John Updike passage where he's like, the pee got lost inside her mysterious woman body. But she was, for the bathroom door didn't altogether close, due to the old frame of the house settling over the centuries, and she had to sit on the toilet some minutes waiting for the pee to come. Men, they were able to conjure it up immediately. That was one of their powers, that thunderous splashing as they stood lordly above the bowl. Everything about them was more direct. Their insides weren't the maze women's were for the pee to find its way through. Me, drunk as fuck and easily physically distracted, knowing logically I have to piss sitting on a bar toilet, mad as hell like, if I don't piss right now, John Updike will have been right. There is nothing worse than John Updike being right. You can't let that happen. You gotta piss. Go piss, girl. Lots of weirdos getting all excited about forcing little girls to show their genitals. John, you're also an idiot. Little girls, first off, don't have genitals. Secondly, if it's a physician, it's quite normal. Little girls don't have genitals. Oh man, that's my new cell phone background. That's wait, what? Wait, huh? Does this guy think that people just don't have genitals until they reach a certain age? Like they don't grow until you hit a certain. That's not how that works. That's what? That's not what? That's not how that works. That's not how that works at all. So this next one we've had in a previous video. I believe it was either confidently incorrect or not how girls work or something like that. But basically, there was an original post asking if women still get their periods while in a coma, and this person responded, "Periods shut off when the body is at rest. Sleeping, even yoga can trigger a stop." So yes, it's likely that periods stop during a coma, and it's just not true, like at all. Like, this is someone who clearly doesn't have a uterus who is trying to act like they know about uteruses, right? Because they absolutely happen during a coma, and they absolutely don't stop when the body's at rest. You can look up many examples of women talking about waking up covered in blood as an example. In the previous video, I used these links, which I will show up on screen now, to kind of give evidence to that, right? But also, additional evidence is the fact that women have fallen pregnant while in comas because of things that have happened to them while in their coma, which is horrible, and I hate that that's something that I've had to talk about again a second time, but like it's pretty evident that they do in fact experience them during their comas because of evidence we have of things that have happened to their bodies, and also the fact that they don't stop when you are asleep. But this dude being like, even yoga could make it stop. No, that's not how that works. I've never been fully satisfied with a penis. I'm a straight woman, and fingers or toys have been the only thing to actually bring me to climax. I'm fully convinced women like you are suffering some form of mental block / stupid vagina syndrome. It just doesn't make sense to me that a woman naturally requires inhuman loves of stimulation to orgasm. Toys, not fingers. There has to be some disconnect somewhere. And I said it's weird that some women like you exist. Seems like a sad life to not be able to be satisfied sexually through intimacy with another human. I simply choose to believe all women can orgasm from human contact, and that there's likely a mental block, i.e. stupid pussy. Even if I'm wrong, I'm fuck you like I'm right. Tough though, seems you've apparently had a poor sex life and haven't met a man who prioritizes your pleasure. I mourn for your deserted pussy. Well, and shrimp? I wouldn't bet on that. What does that even mean at the end? What does that even mean at the end? But a couple things I'm gonna talk about. First of all, this guy doesn't consider sexual intimacy to involve anything other than penetrative sex, which there's so many other things you can do, but I guarantee this guy probably enjoys oral, receiving it rather than giving it, because let's be honest, this guy doesn't seem like the kind of person that gives. But one of the things that really bothers me here, the things that bothers me the most, is that this guy has seen only himself. He only understands himself and the things he's seen, right? That he'll completely disregard any other human experience as just wrong, just not correct, because his experience is all that matters, right? And this is especially evident where he says, even if I'm wrong, I'll fuck you like I'm right. And then has the audacity to be like, oh man, it seems like you haven't met a man that prioritizes your pleasure. And like, you aren't doing that either, my guy. Otherwise, you'd listen to women about what it is that they enjoy rather than saying, I'm just gonna treat you as though I'm doing it right, even if I'm not doing it right. It's just like, it's just shitty and selfish and stupid. Let's be honest, and stupid. The biggest consumers of lesbian porn are women. My hypothesis is due to SSRIs and birth control. Look into birth control. It legit makes women bi, if not gay. You're taking estrogenically chemicals. It causes women to grow hood on their clit too, and those flappy lips we all hate. Men want a chimp mouth. I hate every way that this guy has described everything. Like, but like, the hood on the clit, natural. Lips are natural. Like, the different shapes and varieties that you witness are all natural and happen naturally. They're not caused by taking birth control and things. I just hate the way this guy has described literally everything. I hate that he has unironically referred to a vagina as a chimp mouth as well. I don't like that at all. That's the worst thing I've heard. But this person in the comments on this post followed this up pretty perfectly. Like, the best way. So they said, yeah, it's true. Women have bare, shiny clits like a perfect spherical pink pearl until evil birth control makes the skin start to crawl up on it to hide it from the eyes of innocent men. The ideal vagina is a simple line and a button at the top. Hair, labia, and clit hoods are an unnatural construct. True story. And it's just, it perfectly sums up the mindset of those kinds of people, right? Like this satirical post about completely unrealistic women's body standards and claiming that those are just the natural state of being for women and that any woman that doesn't fit into that clearly has something wrong with her when they have described something completely unreasonable and unrealistic, you know? This is why sex ed is important. These facts about women will shock you. Women are fertile for an average of 40 years. They have their period every 28 days. That makes a total of 521 times. Women bleed for an average of 5 days. That makes for a total of 2,607 days, or about 7 years. Again, women bleed for 7 years. On average, a woman loses about 150 milliliters of blood during every period. That makes 391 liters of blood in their life. An average man has 6 liters of blood. It takes the blood of 65 men to measure up to one woman's blood loss. It's not their blood. It's blood that could have been a baby. It's not from their veins. Okay, right. So first of all, the maths in the original post it's not correct. It's a bit off. Someone posted this in the comments where they went through the math and posted it correctly. It's a bit off. Whatever. That's there. You can read that if you want. But it's not their blood. It's blood that could have been a baby. It's not from their veins. Where does he think it comes from? Where does he think the babies come from? They just magically appear? The babies come from the woman's body, right? Like, the baby isn't just conjured from some ethereal realm. It's created. The blood that could have been the baby comes from the body of the person creating said baby. But also, it's not the blood that could have been a baby. There are literally examples of people being lightheaded and faint and having problems with having not enough blood because of excessively long and problematic periods. Like, these are real things that have happened. This guy, who thinks that apparently the blood just appears from the nether realm to generate babies' bodies, is an idiot. He's just an idiot. Like, even if the blood was what could have been a baby, like that is blended up baby juice, where the fuck did that come from? It didn't just magically appear. It had to come from somewhere. I've heard that girls who wore specs are more hornier and silent killer, lol. Is it true? No, we just don't see that well. Yeah, it is true. Yeah, you only see when you were turned on. No, I see when I have my glasses on. I was 12 when I got glasses. Your theory is very weird when you think about it. I love... So, really weird thing to say, first of all. Not everything has to be sexual, right? Women needing glasses doesn't have to be a sexual device for men. Maybe women just wear glasses because they need them to see, and it's got nothing to do with them being hornier or silent killer, whatever that means. But also, he asks her if that's true, and she says, no, I just need glasses to see. And he goes, yes, it is true. Actually, I am correct. I know how your body body works. I know this better than you, someone who wears glasses, because I am a random guy on Reddit. How about crazy thought? Instead of asking someone if something about their body is correct, instead of asking someone what their lived experience is, hearing their answer and then going, no, I think you are incorrect. Maybe go, I've heard that girls who wear specs are hornier, which he hasn't heard, he made up. And then when they say no, going, okay, never mind. Maybe listen to people instead of being like, no. Shush. The man is speaking right now. I'm correct and you're wrong. So fucking stupid. It's so dumb. Oh, God. Anyway, that's where I'm going to end the video. I've got nothing else to add. That's it. That's the end. I hope you have enjoyed. If you would like to support me in making more content like this, then I have a Patreon in the description down below. Or equally, you can click on that join button on the channel to support me. It helps a lot more than you might realize, but by no means should you feel like you have to. I'm going to keep making content regardless. But a huge, massive special thank you to all of the wonderful YouTube members and patrons that do support me. All of your names are up on screen right now. It genuinely helps so much, and it genuinely means so much. So thank you to everybody that does. Other than that, thank you so much for watching, everybody. I hope you have enjoyed, and as always, I will see you in the next video. Peace out.